All right, hello everybody. What's going on? Welcome to episode 51 of All Elite again, the TEW9 series. I'm Hijo de Amigo. And let's get right down to business. In the last episode, we started the All Elite Tag League. It's a 12-team, two-block, round robin style tournament. So yeah, we're gonna be continuing that today. And with that in mind, I would like to show you guys all my hard work. I went ahead and I charted out every single remaining match in the tournament. So far we've only done a handful. Like I think we did 6 in the last episode. So yeah, we've got a long way to go. We plotted out every single match. It broke my brain a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I I had to think really hard to make sure that I was getting everything right, make sure that there wasn't any like duplicate matches. I somehow ended up having one extra match when I was done, so I had to go through all the matches to find the errant match. But yeah, I found it, so everything should be good. We should be good to go. I tried to put the matches in an order where meaningful like marquee matches are going to be happening at the time I would like. So for example, Briscoe Brothers Motor City Machine Guns are going to be happening way late into the tournament. So yeah, this should help us moving forward. And aside from that, I didn't actually have time to really book anything else. So it's going to be interesting to try to figure out what we're doing here. Oh, what's going on, Ghosty Thoughts? Ghosty Thoughts dropping into oh, you're the person that works on the It All Begins Again mod, right? And they were saying that Mexico is going to be reworked. Yeah, that's sick actually. I'm looking forward to that then. I mean, I feel like you got like collectively everyone who has worked on that mod has done a great job. Like there's an abundance of wrestlers in each region, I'd say. So you guys are definitely doing great work. All right, let's move on. Yeah, all this sounds sick. I'm looking forward to that. Also, yeah, because I definitely remember watching CMLL back in the day on Galavision. Because I don't know if we had Televisa as a channel. Maybe we did. We had like Telemundo, Galavision. All right, I don't think there's anything really left for us to do other than advance to Dynamite. Although, are we gonna want to book Will Ospreay or anyone from New Japan? Let's see. The last week on Dynamite, all right, brought in El Phantasmo. We should probably bring him in again. Oh yeah, Will Ospreay did have a match. Okay. All right, yeah, we'll go ahead and bring in Will Ospreay, and this music is kind of loud. Go ahead. Yeah, we'll go ahead and bring in Will Ospreay, and I'm gonna bring in El Phantasmo just in case. Maybe we'll book him into like a tag match or something. You know, with Will Ospreay, the reason I'm only one, I believe he's I believe he's under exclusive contract with New Japan, but also it's like I want to do stuff with him, but I don't want to fully commit to him because his head health is so bad. I'm always scared that we're gonna like try to give him a push and he's gonna break his neck. You know? Like, yeah, just look at this man. 5%. This dude is he's hanging on by like a wish and a prayer. But anyways, we'll do stuff with him while we can. Should we also bring in Ishii? Why not? I don't even know if I'm gonna book him, but let's get Ishii in here. We can find something for him to do. All right, time for Dynamite. Oh, Dynamite 69. Nice. LOL. All right, it's January 20th. Let's see, where should we go? You know, we're gonna have to plan at some point to go to there's a spot in Europe that we're kind of over in, so yeah, we should definitely plan at some point to go there. But yeah, I don't really want to do that right now. All right, we went to the Great Lakes in early December. We'll head back here, I guess. Also, yeah, even more legends in that mod. Sounds really sick. Like, I feel like especially in Lucha, there's always more dudes out there that you're like, oh yeah, what about this guy? All right, can we get? All right, can we get a creative finish, please? A bit of a gamble. All right, we're gonna try again. If at first you don't succeed, you get a safe bet. All right. Can we get an angle idea, please? A big gamble. Okay. Yeah. All right, 1 out of 3 there. Not great meeting. Oh, you added more arenas to Mexico? Oh, that's sick. Yeah, I definitely have a bit of a situation where I draw more than the biggest arena there already. Oh, I don't know why I'm skipping these. One of them was Dragon Lee and Penta. I wonder what that was about. All right, Don Castle had an angle idea. Dalton Castle has a creative finish, and Dalton Castle also is just like, hey, you know, I would like to be booked. Okay. All right. So first things first. I was talking about the tag league matches, so let's just go ahead and book those. All right. So on this show, we've got double A block. We've got Best Friends versus FTR and the Kingdom versus Barbaro Cavernario and Volador Jr. Also, yeah, Mike Bennett. For whatever reason, the game didn't give him a gimmick, so he needed one. So I gave him the just Mike Bennett gimmick. Because that's what he is. He's just Mike Bennett. Doesn't really have a gimmick. All right. This could be a solid match. Do I want to make this to steal the show? Matt Taven really good basics. Um, Bennett also good basics, not as good in ring stats. But I'm gonna assume or hope at least that they get a tag bonus. Yeah, why not? We're gonna make this 13 minutes steal the show. And all right, let me go. I'm gonna have to leave the Twitch manager so I can go to the notepad. I have so many different sets of notes for my saves. It's insane. I have a note on my phone, which is the final bracket standing. So I can when I book matches, I can double check who I want to win. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and give the win to Matt Taven here. The Kingdom are gonna go over. We're gonna do a tainted win. They're heels. All right, and let's go ahead and book the Best Friends versus FTR. Oh wait, I said Best Friends and hit B. I'm looking for Chuck Taylor. There we go. And Trent Beretta. And they're gonna take on Dax and Cash. Here comes the Dax. Here comes the cash. Yeah, this is a tough draw so early in the tournament for best friends. I feel a little bad for them. But unfortunately, I don't feel that bad for them because they're definitely gonna lose. You know what? Also, storytelling. Here, we'll give them a full 15. All right, I hope you guys appreciate the lengths I'm going to not fuck up this tournament. I've got notes here. I've got notes there. All right, let's continue. All right, we had Awesome Kong defeat Hikaru Shida. She's coming for the women's title. These tournament matches. We had Penta get a win. I want to start. This is a very unoriginal idea. I want to give Penta a bunch of wins and start have him doing the arm break gimmick where he breaks the person's arm after the match. And it's gonna lead to him facing Jon Moxley somehow. It's somehow gonna lead to a Jon Moxley Penta match. And then yeah, as I mentioned already, it's probably gonna lead to ultimately to some sort of a War Games 5-on-5 situation between Latin Mafia, Death Riders, Eddie Kingston at Revolution. All right, what if we do a trio? We will change it this time. Let's do Penta, Garza, and Humberto. All right, let's see. Who can they wrestle? All right, yeah, he beat Leo Rush last week. I was thinking Kenta and Chris Hero and somebody else, but I feel like I don't want Penta to break Kenta's arm. All right, let's do like Mark Quinn, not Orange Cassidy, Isaiah Cassidy. I got the wrong Cassidy. And we're gonna leave it Adam Page for now. We're gonna bring in somebody from Dev. Oh well, let's come back. All right. Oh, this is not Dev. I mean, I've done Private Party with Cheeseburger a few times, so we'll continue that. And poor Cheeseburger is gonna get attacked after the match. Sucks to be him, you know. He's stuck in ROH. We call him up to wrestle on Dynamite, and we're like, all right, we're gonna have this guy break your arm, and then you'll never be seen again. All right, so Cheeseburger is gonna take the loss. We're gonna do here. We're gonna have Mark Quinn get distracted by Selena De La Renta, just to give her something to do. She's there. She's there. They're heels. They're bad guys. All right, post-match angle. We're gonna do surprise. All right, Penta, attacker, Cheeseburger, victim. And we could say maybe like Garza, and we're just gonna have all the other guys be background players, but we can just assume that Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn, they're being prevented from intervening. You know, they're not just standing there watching him get his arm broke. They were tossed out of the ring. And I guess Selena De La Renta, we're gonna have her working the crowd. She's gonna be like the one directing the attack. You know, she's yelling out, "Break his arm!" All right, low key, this feels like something I'll do on Dark, but I hope it goes well. We did Swerve El Phantasma and Ricky Starks got a win. Has Ricky Starks ever wrestled Kenny Omega one-on-one? I mean, we could do that. He's wrestled Bryan Danielson. He went to a draw of Tracy Williams. I mean, Ricky Starks is unimportant, though. Also, let's see. All right, you know what? We did that. Where is it? We did that backstage angle with Trish. Oh, okay. It was on this collision. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. So we need to continue giving Bianca Belair matches, actually. So let's do that. Oh no, I accidentally closed the stream manager. There we go. Bianca Belair. Let's have her take on Mercedes Martinez. So Bianca Belair, she's still a babyface, but we're planning on turning her heel once again. Her last turn was very recent. I don't care. But yeah, we're not going to start teasing it yet. All right, 10-minute match though. Bianca Belair getting the win. We're going to make it open, and we're going to have Trish at ringside. Okay. Oh yeah, really. Kento Miyahara, it's really up in the air what he's going to be doing come Revolution. But one idea that I've had is that he could he could simply wrestle his tag partner Wagner Tercero. I feel like Wagner Tercero is pretty good. He might not be as good as like Walter or Zack Sabre Jr., but they would definitely have a good match. So yeah, that's one idea I have. Maybe we'll do that if we don't end up coming up with something better. You know what? I think I want to give a match actually to Bryan Danielson. We haven't really booked him in a while. How about Bryan Danielson versus Joe Doring? The game's gonna say Joe Doring's unimportant. I disagree, and I don't care. I think this match would be cool. Bryan Danielson's gonna win. It's gonna be a non-title match. The reason I only made it. Oh, this could be a wild brawl then. Okay. I'm assuming Bryan Danielson can brawl. Okay. All right. Good luck with that, Bryan Danielson. Go have a brawl with Joe Doring. Ooh, he doesn't have the stamina for it. All right, we might have to make this like 12. All right, how about 10? All right, kind of a short match, but it's Bryan Danielson. I'm sure they'll make it work. All right, after the match, Bryan Danielson promo. All right, so Brian Danielson. Hello, Mariner is writing. So Brian Danielson's here, and we're gonna have him cut a promo, and he's basically talking about how, I'm the reigning, defending AEW Prime Champion, and right now it seems that I've got a few different guys gunning for my belt. On one hand, I have Swerve Strickland, boo, boo, who I already have beaten, who, in my opinion, I don't really think deserves a rematch. And on the other side, I've got Kenny Omega, the elite of the elite, one of the best in the world. The crowd starts cheering, yeah. Ooh, ooh. So I'll leave it up to you guys. Who should I defend the belt against? So Brian Danielson, he's doing his thing. And of course, who else is going to come out? How long should this part be? I don't know. Anyways, we're gonna have Don Callis and Swerve come out. All right, I think we're just gonna let Swerve speak. He's pretty good. So, and I kind of just want to have, not too many people talking. We borrowed El Phantasmo, so he will be here in the background. He's his gimmick is that he's the new Will Hobbs. Nobody yeah, we're gonna do the joke that everybody says online. Just we replace this character and nobody acknowledges it. Everybody thinks it's funny, right? All right, yeah. So basically, we're gonna have them come out and they're gonna complain about how they want a title shot, and Swerve Strickland is basically going to get pissed and he's going to say, like, Brian Danielson, if you won't do the right thing and give me a title shot, then maybe that means I just have to come right down there and take the title from you. And yeah, so you've got Ricky Starks, Swerve Strickland, El Phantasmo heading to the ring. We're going to shorten this by a minute. I'm not gonna. Well, Kenny Omega is gonna come out to make the save, but rather than having them doing attacker and making the save, I'm just gonna have all of them fighting. So yeah, the Callis family heads, which I guess we're calling them that. I realize I didn't want to for some reason, but I guess that's what we're calling them. The Callis family heads to the ring. We're gonna have Swerve Strickland working the crowd, and the reason for that because, Ricky Starks and El Phantasmo head in the ring. They've got Danielson outnumbered, but out comes Kenny Omega. So Swerve Strickland, instead rather than staying and fighting, he's like, "Nah, I'm out." So yeah, Swerve and Don working the crowd while Kenny Omega and Brian Danielson are taking it to Ricky Starks and El Phantasmo. And we're just gonna end it there. I imagine the angle would end with them just kind of, the heels get thrown out of the ring and the baby faces stand and gesture towards them, and then it cuts to commercial break. Yeah, so I feel like the way this is heading, I guess we're heading to a Kenny Omega Swerve Strickland match soon. So that should be good. And I think a tag match between like Danielson and Omega versus Swerve and CM Punk, I think that could be mint. Mint, as the Brits say. Thank you for enjoying my series. I have been enjoying it as well. Are we main eventing with Best Friends versus FTR? Like, let's see. Obviously, I know CM Punk hasn't been booked. Adam Page, I don't know if I want him to have a match right now. I believe the last show we booked, so I think that was Collision. We main evented with Kento Miyahara versus Zack Sabre Jr. John Moxley could have a match, but who would he wrestle that wouldn't just be a squash? Because we've already got we've got a 10-minute Danielson and Joe Doring match. We've got I've got Latin Mafia beating up Private Party and Cheeseburger. Oh wait, we borrowed Ishii for no reason. Oh, I knew borrowing Ishii was a good idea. All right, you know what? New Wild Brawl. All right, so John Moxley, you know, he wants to stay sharp. He wants to stay fresh. He doesn't like being inactive. So he requested a match tonight, and his opponent is none other than New Japan's Tomohiro Ishii. I think we will just go ahead and main event with the tag match. Or I mean, because we could main event with John Moxley versus Ishii and just have it be a regular match and make it a bit longer. But that, you know, that's kind of a random match. The FTR Best Friends match has a storyline attached to it. It's part of a tournament. So yeah, I think we'll leave the tag match as the main event. So this can be a bit longer. We need 16 more minutes, and yeah, we need some more promos. We should definitely get Cody Rhodes or Adam Page in here somewhere. Let's see. We had both Hangman and Cody interact with Ultramantis Black on Collision, and it didn't really go that great. We're gonna give Cody a bit of a shorter angle, 4 minutes. God, we need to stretch this feud out all the way to Revolution. I don't even know what to do. We might just go ahead and do the same gimmick I did in CMLL, where I had Pedro Guau Jr. cut a promo where him and Hector Garza are like, "Look, man, I don't really feel like wrestling tonight. I'm leaving early." So you know what? We might do that with Cody. And I guess, do we have him run into Ultramantis Black again? I don't, you know, I decided to inject the Dark Order into this storyline for no reason, and now I myself am even confused what they're doing in it. But you know, we can't go back. All right, so how about this? We've got Cody Rhodes talking backstage with Renee Paquette, and he's basically saying, like, you know, I'm the world champion. We're in Ohio, I think. You know, there's no reason for me to be in some podunk hillbilly town like this. So I'm not gonna stand for it. I am leaving. Tony Khan, when you find a somewhere suitable for a world champion of my caliber, you call me. So yeah, Cody Rhodes, he's not feeling it tonight. He's out. You know, he's like, you guys made me fly to Ohio and I'm not even booked to wrestle. I'm going home. All right, and I guess um a wild Ultraman's Black appears. Look, I don't even know where this storyline's going, but we're gonna figure it out. Here, this time let's have him appear with Evil Uno and Stu Grayson. Maybe Ultramantis Black can try to talk to Cody, like, you know, have you considered that maybe, just maybe, the world championship would be more secure if you aligned yourself with the Dark Order? And MJF's gonna be like, look, job order. Like, we don't need help from you losers that can't even get booked on the show, all right? What the hell have you guys ever done? Get the hell away from the world champion. So yeah, Hangman Page doesn't really like the Dark Order. Cody Rhodes doesn't really like the Dark Order. Why are they here? I'm not sure. All right, so we'll start off with the match and then just go into this. And screw it, let's go ahead and book an Adam Page promo. All right, it's gonna be shorter. We're gonna do 3 minutes character development. Adam Page is talking to Denise Salcido. He's basically just repeating what he's been saying. That he's like, you know, I've made it my intentions extremely clear. Everyone in this company knows that what I want is another shot at the world champion Cody Rhodes. I'm not gonna stop until I get it. And if that means I need to beat 100 wrestlers, or if that means I need to walk through fire, through glass, through barbed wire, I'm going to do whatever it takes, etc., etc. And then, you know, we're not going to actually add them to this, but maybe like Denise Salcido would say, and, you know, how about what's going on with you and Ultramantis Black and the Dark Order? And Adam Page is just going to be like, look, I'm a bit preoccupied trying to become the world champion. Excuse me if I'm not trying to, you know, make new friends right now, okay? Okay, Denise? All right, I don't like that weird shit. All right, now let's bump this up to 4 minutes. All right, you know, we've got 6 minutes. Let's do a best friends promo and then also book an FTR promo. So the best friends promo is basically going to be like, you know, this is the chance we've been waiting for. We've been in this company since day one. We've busted our asses. We've done everything that we've had to do. And now we're finally getting a big opportunity to show everybody what we're made of against FTR. And we're not going to blow it. We're not going to let it go to waste. So yeah, a rare, serious promo. There's no joke here. I might have been laughing just now while saying the promo, but they're not laughing. They're dead ass. They're completely serious. Oh yeah, this is a hype promo. They're gonna beat FTR, or so they say. Um, hmm. Should I use that safe bet here? Oh wait, was it a CM Punk safe bet? Oh wait, no, the safe bet I got was a finish. All right, whatever. 3 minutes, best friends. We're gonna give FTR a promo. We're gonna do. I've lost complete track of which ones I've done, so we're gonna call this foreshadowing. All right, so we've got Dax and Cash backstage with Renee. And also, yeah, they're pissed that they lost to the Fatus. So yeah, we're gonna have them talk about that, and we're gonna have them talk about how best friends. Well, what a couple of jokers those two are. This is gonna be a night off for us. A night off. It's gonna be a walk in the park. It's gonna be easy. Yeah, they're kind of just writing off best friends, and also, yeah, they're pissed that they lost a match already, and they're gonna take it out on best friends. All right. I had a lot of fun putting together this tag league. Because it's like you could just go the route of making the league and just booking the matches, but I'm like, it's more fun to come up with little feuds within the tournament itself. Little storylines that they have. I guess that's why people like leagues. All right, we've got like 10 more minutes if we want. We've had like nothing, or well, I guess Latin Mafia had a match, but yeah, Andrade hasn't been on the show. CM Punk hasn't been on the show. Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston's kind of back to not really doing much. Like we threw him into this 6 man here, and then I think, wait, didn't he cut a promo actually last time? Oh yeah, right. We had him in this promo where Zack Sabre Jr. Challenged Kento Miyahara. So yeah, he's just kind of chilling right now. All right, I guess I'll give let's give CM Punk a promo and John Moxley a promo and call it a day. It's going to be later in the show, I guess, and it's basically going to be CM Punk backstage with Don Callis and Swerve. And yeah, they're basically just kind of stewing together, just kind of like, ooh, I hate that Kenny Omega, and ooh, who does that Brian Danielson think he is, and ooh, we're mad. They're stewing. All right, I guess they're talking to Melissa Santos. Yeah, they're mad. They hate Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega. All right, and where's that? Okay, that's here. So I guess that could come like after this match. Kind of a nothing segment, but whatever, man. CM Punk's on the show. And yeah, I guess we'll give Jon Moxley a promo. We're gonna call this a tease. It's just gonna be a typical Jon Moxley promo about how he's a tough, super cool dude. And you know, while his boys Pac and Shingo are handling their business in the tag league, we're gonna put them off screen here. Him and Fergal are still setting out to prove what they always prove, which is that they're the best wrestlers in the world, and that's why he's willing to take on anybody that steps up. We're gonna do Andrade off screen just to kind of advance that, and Penta. All right, and I guess we're gonna use that finish. Oh, there's a storytelling match. Maybe we should change that since it's the main event. We're gonna use this safe bet on this. I kind of want it to be the storytelling match still. I guess if we really wanted to, we could just make it this. Yeah, let's do that. Why not? Let's give the main event a little more time. Oh, too much time. All right, there we go. We booked the full 125 minutes. 72% wrestling. Here's Dynamite. Do we want to book anyone on the pre-show? You know what? No, I don't even feel like getting into that right now. We're just gonna run this. We've been doing pretty good lately, I think. Yeah, we got 91 Dynamite and Collision. You know, I don't know if Best Friends versus FTR is going to be as good as Best Friends Fatus, but I also didn't expect Best Friends versus the Fatus to be a 91 match. So I don't know. Maybe Best Friends versus FTR will also do really well. We'll see. Yeah, I guess my official prediction, I'll say like an 86. I'm feeling. All right, starting off the show pretty strong. We've got the Kingdom getting a block league win, scoring 2 points, beating Barbaro Cavernario and Volador Jr. Pretty good match, got a 76. All right, Barbaro Cavernario, just as good as Matt Taven. Hell yeah. There's a guy on YouTube that he really wants me to give Barbaro Cavernario an international title shot. And I mean, I'm down, but we've got to wait for the tournament to be over. So yeah, I guess at some point after the tournament, we'll do that. Definitely, it can't be at Revolution, unfortunately, but yeah, I guess at some point after Revolution. Oh, all right. Segment with Cody talking about how much Ohio sucks and how he's going home, and then running into Ultramantis Black and the Dark Order gets an 89. You know, I hope these segments at least somehow try to I hope they help the Dark Order get a little more over. I still like these guys, and I would like to do stuff with them. So it would be nice if Ultramantis Black at least could be recognizable. All right, trios action. We've got Latin Mafia just disposing, just completely destroying Private Party and Cheeseburger. They get the win when Penta pinned Cheeseburger with the Fear Factor, and the match got a 70. Penta got an 87. Holy shit. All right, and then yeah, after the match, Latin Mafia wasn't done. Penta snaps Cheeseburger's arms. The crowd is shocked. All right, we got a pretty good promo from FTR. They're pissed. They can't believe they dropped their first match in the tournament to the Fatus. You know, they were caught off guard. They didn't even know those guys worked in AEW. It wasn't fair. Tonight they're gonna give the best friends the ass whooping of a lifetime. All right. Say yeah. All right, Bianca Belair defeats Mercedes Martinez in a match against the 63. Once again, Trish is watching very closely. She's got her eye on Bianca Belair. All right, we got a backstage segment with Adam Page reiterating his intentions to go after the world title and basically saying, you know, he's not really feeling Dark Order. He doesn't really want to talk about that right now. 81. All right, in a decent match, the AEW Prime Champion Joe Doring defeats, the AEW Prime Champion Bryan Danielson defeats Joe Doring in a match against a 75. Pretty solid match. I imagine these two would have a killer match in real life. Rest in power, Joe Doring. All right, let's move on. After the match, Bryan Danielson cuts a promo. He teases the audience a little, asking them who they want to see him defend the belt against next. And yeah, so that brings out Swerve Strickland and the Don Callis family. They try to jump him, but Kenny Omega runs out there, and Don Callis family's out of there. It's an 80. All right, people kind of into this. All right, we got a promo from Jon Moxley and Fergal, basically saying, you know, Pac and Shingo are handling business in the tag league. I'm taking all comers. Anybody who wants a shot at Jon Moxley, just step up to the plate. Gets an 87. All right, 79 match. Jon Moxley and Tomohiro Ishii have great chemistry. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, so Jon Moxley said he's taking on all comers. Tomohiro Ishii wasting no time answering the challenge. You know, conveniently he just happened to be in Ohio. You know, for no reason at all, and he heard Jon Moxley cutting that promo, and he headed straight to the ring because Tomohiro Ishii doesn't fuck around. All right, 79. I don't know what I'm saying. All right, backstage, we get some grumbling and mumbling with CM Punk and Don Callis. They're very upset. They don't like that they got ran off by Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega. Damn, I was hoping the best friends would be a bit more motivated than this and give us a solid promo, but all right, an average promo from the best friends. They're looking to pull off the upset tonight. You know, they've got a good feeling about it. All right, as they get ready to take on FTR. Damn, 85 main event. FTR delivering again. Yeah, FTR gets the win over best friends in 1703. They hit Chuck with the big rig, and yeah, they score 2 points. 2 all-important points in the All Elite Tag League. Yeah, see, just like I thought. Not quite as good as the match with Fatus, but yeah, man, FTR is very good. They tend to deliver. Also, that creative finish definitely helped. I'm glad it hit. 87. think I guessed an 86. So I was close. I was close. I came close without going over. If I was playing the yodeling game on The Price is Right, I would win. All right. All right, made a quick 2 milli. I don't know. Popularity go up. Yeah, Southern England and maybe even Northern England. Yeah, we just need to take a trip to Europe sometime soon. Maybe that could be something we do after Revolution. Just maybe book like 2 weeks worth of shows out there. All right, let's take a look at the emails. Yep. All right, these guys heading back to their companies. We brought in Will Ospreay and I forgot to do anything with him. Oh well. We'll advance that story on Collision, I guess. Before we advance, actually, let's take a second. I want to look at our developmental roster. There's a couple of guys I want to bring in, or just a couple of people in general that I was thinking about signing, and I was thinking maybe we could let a few people go. Like coincidentally, Aldaz. He's not. They're not terrible, but they're not somebody that I went out and signed. They were just kind of here already. We got the company. You know what? They're not that bad. Who else? Futuro. Futuro is only 19. They're not great. Yeah, we're just gonna let them go. Sorry, buddy. Maybe in the future we'll get them back. All right, and let's get rid of So such a delicate way to put it. Let's get rid of Davien. They're another person. They were just here when we bought the company. They weren't somebody that I went out and signed on my own. And yeah, they're kind of mid. So rather than having them here getting booked over the people that I actually want to develop, we're just gonna get rid of them. All right, and since we released 2 people, it's only right that we hire 2 people. All right, so first person up, Kazusada Higuchi. His stats are kind of like, you know, the lower end of this range isn't great, but yeah, he's only got 50 experience, so presumably he will get a bit better. And if he can gain some pop in the US and also get better, yeah, that'd be nice for us. I'm just a fan of this guy. I think he's cool. So we're gonna sign him. We're gonna sign him and just send him to dev. I'll give him a 2,500 bonus. All right, the second person I want to sign, Shiori Kondo is just straight up unemployed. I think the only reason I haven't signed them already is because they're still an active MMA fighter. But you know what? If they're not doing anything, we might as well bring them in. Oh, they're a freelancer. I don't know about that. I don't know. Because, you know, they've got decent stats already. But again, it's like I would like to have them, you know, have them in dev for long enough that they gain some popularity and also develop a bit more. But if they're only here for 9 months, Like, what are we getting out of that? You know, they're getting to have matches and improve, and then we'll never actually get to do anything with them. I'm gonna bring him in anyways. Fuck it. After saying all that, I'm just like, whatever, man. 9 months, sure. They can wrestle Sari. All right, let's advance. Oh, is Katarina Waters? Did they like quit or something? Oh, they handed in their notice, so they're leaving in 30 days. Okay, so yeah, we'll just job them out even harder, I guess. I don't know. We've already been jobbing them out. Oh, Queen Abaddon is out for a year. Oh, that sucks. Oh, yeah, that's not good, man. All right, well, hope you get better. Maybe it'll let us do surgery on it and drop that time down a little. Right. Rina Yamashita quit Seedling. I wonder what happened there. Oh, I had no idea this dark taping was coming up. God damn it. Why am I always surprised when it's time to book dark? All right, well, we're here now. It's time to book some dark. Yeah, we'll stay in the southeast. Hey, random subject change while we're doing this. I've been I've been getting into some Digimon World 2 lately. Digimon World 2 specifically. Any Digimon World 2 fans out there? Yeah, I remember as a kid, my cousin had Digimon World 1. So I remember I saw that game and I was like, oh man, that's so cool. I love Digimon. I want to play a Digimon game. Where are we going? So, oh wait. Yeah, southeast. I don't know. We'll go to this we'll go here, Memphis. Yeah, so I was a little Digimon fan. So I saw Digimon World 1 and I thought it was cool. But then I was like, you know, if Digimon World 1's cool, I bet Digimon World 2 will be even cooler. So yeah, I asked my parents for Digimon World 2. And yeah, it was a bit different than Digimon World 1. Definitely not the same. And yeah, you know, I played it a lot. Oh, Stokely Hathaway and Joshua Fatu, traveling buddies. Stokely, my boy. You know, don't drink and drive. You know, you shouldn't hang out with this guy. You shouldn't hang around him. That's all I'm saying. Don't drink and drive. Okay. But yeah, I never beat Digimon World 2 as a kid. I was watching not actual speed runs of the game, but I was watching a video talking about the speed runs of the game because apparently like the world record time is something like 16 or 17 hours. Yeah, insane game, really long. But I don't know. I've been playing it lately. I've got Digimon World 2 on the brand. The leveling system in that game is very stupid. And yeah, as a little kid, it was completely incomprehensible to me. I couldn't figure it out. You know, I'm like, how do I get a VMon? And you know, now as an adult, I understand it more, but I still think it's stupid. All right, let's book some stuff. It's time for dark. Let's see. What are we doing? It's dark. How about we give him a crazy fucking main event? How about we give him Kento Miyahara and Wagner reuniting back where it all started on AEW Dark. And let's see who they take on. Oh right, Will Ospreay is here. Hey, we can give Will Ospreay a match on one of these darks. That could be a thing. Let's go ahead and borrow somebody. Should we do Plasma? I mean, we could just do Phantasma and Laredo Kid, but I was thinking we could do like Phantasma. Yeah, let's do Phantasma and Psycho Clown. It's dark. It doesn't. The team doesn't have to make sense. I think it's just enough that I kind of I want to book Psycho Clown. I think the idea of Psycho Clown being in a match that also has Kento Miyahara is very funny. To be fair, everybody else in the match makes sense. Like, yeah, if you cover Kento Miyahara and look, you're like, this is just a AAA match that happened at some point. Then you uncover Kento Miyahara and it's like, what is going on here? Can they do 15? And, you know, we're gonna give the win. We're gonna give the win to Wagner. You know, I know Kento's the champion, but I feel like he's gotten plenty of wins lately. You know, Wagner could definitely use one. All right. Do we? Because we're gonna book 2 dark. So I'm like, should we have Will Ospreay wrestle on this one, or we can just save him for the next one, maybe? I don't know. Let's have Ricky Starks win a match. Here, Ricky Starks can beat Fuego del Sol, who pretty much he kind of just looks like he kind of looks like Ricky Starks unmasked a bit. Not really, but kind of vague. All right, 10 minutes. Ricky Starks. Let's see. We need like at least one more match. Let's go ahead and take a look at the women's roster. Viper's here since when? And they've got good stats, and I just don't book them. Who do I want to win a match? I feel like Davina Rose, we keep meaning to have her make an announcement that she's cleared to wrestle, and I keep just forgetting to book it. So yeah, maybe not her. Hannah Kimura is the women's champion. I think she's a little bit. I mean, well, then again, Kento Miyahara is also on this episode. Oh, Katarina Waters is leaving in 30 days. All right, how about Sarah Del Rey, who I remember they were here because I saw them on the loading screen. Sarah Del Rey, how about a free win? Here, we'll give them 13 minutes. Have a real match. You know, Sarah Del Rey is cool. All right, yeah, Sarah Del Rey is definitely going over. Whoops. There we go. Clean win. All right, we need some promos. All right, we got Ricky Starks here already, so let's do a Don Callis promo backstage. Ricky Starks. Can Ricky Starks? I assume he has mic skills. Yeah, that's a very wide range. We're just gonna leave him as a background player. All right, have this be 3 minutes backstage. Oh, let's go ahead and put a let's put like Denise Saucedo here. I mean, I imagine basically this is just, it's dark, so I don't want to do anything too like um God, what's the word I'm looking for here? Nothing too important, like it doesn't need to be an important like storyline beat. It can just be Don Callis simply talking about what's going on. And I guess putting over Ricky Starks. Yeah, let's say that. Oh yeah, Don Callis says that Ricky Starks will have a much greater career than Bryan Danielson or Kenny Omega. Let's get Trish out here. Trish Stratus is just gonna be talking to Renee. We're gonna do Bianca Belair off screen, Hannah Kimura off screen, Davina Rose off screen. No, she's talking about everybody. They're having a general discussion about the landscape of the women's division. Trish Stratus she's giving all her opinions on everybody. And she's talking about how, I look at like people like Davina Rose, like, yeah, she was the champion, but she lost the belt. And what happened to her? She became irrelevant. She's not doing anything. Hannah Kimura, she's the champion. But come on, do we really think that she's going to be able to hold on to that belt? Do we really think that she's going to be able to even defeat Awesome Kong a second time? But when it comes down to it, I see Bianca Belair and I see the top of the food chain, the one who should be the champion. All right, but Bianca Belair's not even there. This promo was happening after a Sarah Del Rey Katarina Waters match, so I don't know. All right, we'll need to book a few more minutes, but we've got too much wrestling, too much. The fans don't want that. Get this wrestling out of my dark. All right, we're gonna do 3-minute hype promo. Once again, we're just gonna have Eddie Kingston talk for Kento Miyahara and Wagner. Yeah, we're gonna I don't know why he would be talking about Moxley or Andrade here, but we're gonna put them off screen anyways. we need to book at least one more minute. Who else do we want to cut a promo? I mean, Hannah Kimura is well known now. I think we're gonna take a chance and try once again to give her a promo. She's well known. It might go better than it's, just because it's never gone well before doesn't mean that this time won't be different. All right, so we've got Hannah Kimura and Martina, and they're talking to Denise Salcido. And basically, yeah, she's just talking about how, I don't know. I'm just going to throw Awesome Kong and Stokely back there and call it a day. We're going to call this character development. All right, and I don't know if I have an angle idea for this, but I'm not going to use one. I'm hoping that she's just able to cut a good or a decent at least promo. Feel like in real life, like even with English not being her first language, I feel like her promos were never that bad. I feel like she had a lot of natural charisma. Yeah, so the women's champion just popping up on Dark just to say hi, just to let the crowd know that she's still here and she's still the champion. All right, the main event should be a banger. So I'm hoping this episode of Dark gets like at least an 80. Let's see. Oh, the crowd not into this. Ricky Starks defeats Fuego del Sol. Oh, right. Because, yeah, Ricky Starks was unimportant. And Fuego del Sol also unimportant. I should have considered that when I booked this. Well, all right. The wrestling wasn't even the problem here. It was just that these guys aren't over. All right. All right. The promo after the match was fine. 62. It was okay. The Hannah Kimura promo 52. All right. Well, not exactly terrible, but also not exactly good. So yeah, still a little disappointing. Oh man, Sarah Del Rey defeated Katarina Waters in 12:34, and the match got a 49. Okay, yeah. Don't know why I was compelled to book this. We're gonna move on. So far, not the best episode of Dark. All right, things picking back up. Trish is on the screen now. Everybody, wake up. Sit up straight in your seat. Focus, guys. Trish is here. All right, Trish, Big Mama Trish is here to save the day. 80 promo. Her giving her her assessments of the women's division. All right, Eddie. How's the crowd still this interested? Eddie Kingston backstage with Kento Miyahara and Wagner Jr. Or not Jr. Wagner Tercero, hyping them up for their tag match. It's coming up right now. Oh, 67. Kento Miyahara sustained a bruised kidney. I'm a little disappointed here. Yeah, I can't lie. I was hyping this up. I thought it'd be better. And yeah, Kento. Hopefully that's not too serious, but yeah, Kento getting hurt is not great. All right, so this was not just all around not the best episode of Dark we've ever booked. Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought this match at the bare minimum, I thought this match would at least get like in the low 70s. But I was hoping that it would at least, be able to hit an 80. I definitely would have never guessed it would get a 67. All right, yeah, that's what we got. A 62. Not great. All right, before we book this next episode of Dark, I am going to get up and take a break. I've been sitting here for about an hour and 22 minutes. So I'm going to stretch these legs, drink some water, and when I come back, we're going to book some more Dark. Don't go anywhere. All right, I'm back. Took a bit of a longer break there because I realized I had to feed my cat. But the beast has been soothed. So let's continue booking some Dark. All right, so we're gonna book Will Ospreay to main event this episode. I feel like Will Ospreay versus like Timothy Thatcher would make sense if we're having Will Ospreay kind of Will Ospreay and AJ Styles. I'm kind of having them feud with uh Walter and Ring Camp. There we go. I couldn't remember their name. So yeah, even though we've done, yeah, we did. We had AJ and Will Ospreay beat them in a tag. But yeah, we didn't do a singles. So yeah. So yeah, this could be a solid match. My cord is getting all tangled. Although we could take a look at the heels and see who else is available. Yeah, I think versus Timothy Thatcher is fine. We're gonna give him a full 15 here, and yeah, we're gonna have Will Ospreay go over. All right, open match, and I think Walter can do color commentary, so we're gonna have Walter at ringside for this match doing commentary. He's not gonna get involved. It is dark. But yeah, we're just gonna have him be here. Actually, you know what? Never mind. As soon for some reason, me saying it is dark made me realize I was like, you know what? He shouldn't be here for dark. All right, so we're just gonna have him wrestle. Although, wait, I'm sorry. Are they even? Yes, they are in the storyline. All right, so I'm gonna put. Will Ospreay is not in this storyline because he's not officially on my roster. That makes sense. Okay, so I'm gonna maybe put Walter at ringside just to make sure it actually advances the angle or the storyline. The game was gonna let me put him at ringside when he's in the match. This doesn't make sense. All right, what else can we book? Let's see. Katarina Waters, amazingly, is still recognizable. God, we've been jobbing her out this whole time, but she's really not that good. So it's not. I feel like it's not even working all that well. Like, yeah, Sarah Del Rey beating her didn't get Sarah Del Rey into recognizable. She went up 1 point. Who else could we job her out? I mean, I'm pretty sure we've jobbed her out to Bianca Belair already. We've jobbed her out to Cerie, to Trinity. I don't know. Let's just do something else. I'm getting a little bored of jobbing out Katarina Waters. How about we do a Shining Samurai match? Naomi, Sakura, their face. I know Julia's a heel, but they're part of that group. Although that's you know, it's not really canon to AEW. There's no reason she could show up with a different partner. Or we could just have Hikaru Shida and Mika Iwata wrestle Julia and Kip Sabian. That we could just do that.
This is a stupid dope mix.
What? You know what? I'm not mad at that idea. All right, the annoying lovers, Kip Sabian and Julia. Let's have their homies pull up too. Let's have Chris Ridgway and Robbie Eagles at ringside. It's a very weird situation the Shining Samurai have found themselves in. All right, Hikaru Shida, Mika Iwata taking on the fancy bastards of Julia and Kip Sabian. Because why not? All right, we'll give the win to Hikaru Shida, and I mean, come on. Why if Kip Sabian is going to be in this match, what is he doing other than taking the pin? You know, like it would be a waste of booking this if we had them pin Julia. Here though, we'll do a flash pinfall. We'll protect him a little. I imagine the story of the match would be that like Julia and Kip Sabian, every time they like land the move, they start taunting and then they start making out. So they're too distracted making out to win the match. You know, Chris Ridgway and Robbie Eagles are getting pissed. They're like, focus on the match, Kip. Wrestle the match. Come on. All right, I should have made this match comedy. But yeah, I'm not gonna go that far. All right, now this should be on Dynamite. All right, anyways, let's book one more match. Who is it gonna be? We're not doing much with Eddie Kingston. Like, he can wrestle someone. We ever done like Eddie Kingston versus Shane Taylor? Eddie Kingston, Shane Taylor, Eddie Kingston wins. Nothing too crazy here. All right, let's get some promos going. Eddie Kingston's here, so of course we're gonna have him cut a promo backstage. All right, this time no Kento Miyahara and no Wagner. So yeah, just Eddie Kingston backstage talking to Renee Paquette. Oh, hold on now. I've been struck by an idea. What if? All right, we've got Jon Moxley going around saying like basically I've got nothing to do. Anyone who's tough, you know, who wants to go one-on-one with me, I'll face them. And you know, Eddie Kingston faced him one-on-one and lost to him a while back. So what if we have Eddie Kingston at some point decide to take on the challenge to, you know, want to rematch Jon Moxley? But you know, back then, John Moxley was telling Latin Mafia to stay out of his business. But at this point, you know, they're not friends anymore. They're not cordial anymore. So, you know, we have Latin Mafia interfere. That leads to the Penta match. Boom, boom. All right, yeah. This is how I come up with storylines. I just brainstorm vague ideas and hope that I remember them when I'm booking. Eddie Kingston, something, something. Yeah, all that stuff that I just said is not happening right now. So, there you go. I feel like I keep checking if Will Ospreay has mic skills, and I don't think he does. Oh, he does. And he's recognizable. Cool. Okay. All right, Will Ospreay promo. Will Ospreay. He's talking about Walter. He's talking about his boy AJ Styles, and he's talking about how he's gonna beat Timothy Thatcher to send a message to Walter. No, because well, this is the Dark coming up in 2 weeks, so we're gonna have to do some kind of angle where maybe we'll have Walter attack AJ or something. And so yeah, Will Ospreay, he's pissed now. This is probably, this is most likely a bad idea. Ultraman's Black, still unimportant. Okay. Do we have any like creative ideas? I know we tried this. Oh right, is it more important that we get Stokely? Oh well, he's neutral again. Because yeah, we kind of messed up Stokely's momentum trying to give him character ideas, but I would like him to get some momentum. Because it just bugs me that this guy with supposedly really good mic skills keeps giving us bad promos. Maybe we have to start using him as comedic relief. All right, you know what? Yeah, scratch what I was gonna do. Screw the Dark Order. We're giving it to Stokely. Near certainty. Come on, baby. Failure. Oh. Come on. Oh my dude. Why does TEW hate Stokely Hathaway? This is bad. This is bad. We can change his gimmick to reset his momentum, but I don't want to change his gimmick really. But now I feel like we have to. Still gonna be Weasley. Or do creative, unique. I mean, Big Stoke is the perfect gimmick for him. I think we're just gonna call this one Big Stoke 2. Well, there you go. Now that we've ruined his momentum, I definitely don't want to give him a promo on the. Well, maybe we should actually, so that way we reset his momentum in case we want to use him on a show that's not dark. All right, here we go. All right, Stokely Hathaway, Awesome Kong. All right, Stokely Hathaway. You know, I've heard the rumblings and grumblings from some of the women around here thinking that they are the best in AEW, or people thinking that just because Hannah Kimura's walking around with the championship that she's the best in AEW. But we all know that Awesome Kong is really the best in AEW. She's the most dominant woman. She had the most dominant title run, and when it's all said and done, she'll be a two-time champion. All right, Stokely, please, man. Please, man. Good. He's probably mad at us now. We keep giving him bad creative ideas, and he's like, "Man, what is this?" Also, the concept of coming to them with bad creative ideas is so funny. All right, Stokely, what if we had you, what if we had you cut a whole promo, and then at the end of the promo, it is revealed that your pants are on backwards, and Stokely's like, "Man." All right, I'm gonna stop coming up with stupid Stokely Hathaway ideas, and we're gonna run this Dynamite. The last one bombed. You got a 62, so I'm a little scared. I hope that Will Ospreay and Timothy Thatcher have a sick match. Being slightly overused, that's fine. All right, please, let's get at least a 74, guys, please. All right, starting off, not too bad. Eddie Kingston defeats Shane Taylor in a match that gets 64. Just two big bruisers, just kind of forearming each other and kicking each other and big booting each other until one of them finally topples over. All right, Kingston gets the win. All right, immediately after the match, Eddie Kingston heads backstage and cuts a promo with Renee Paquette, talking about how, you know, he's always been a tough guy, and, you know, being tough, it's not about winning every single fight that you get into. It's about having the courage to stand up after the fight and to keep moving forward, whether you won or whether you lost, and blah, 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 and John Moxley, blah, blah, blah. All right, 83. All right, Stokely promo 66. All right, not as bad as it could have been. All right, let's see if his new gimmick is good. Very good. All right. I don't think that's as good as great, but it's not bad. So we'll take it. All right, we saved this momentum. Oh boy. All right, Shining Samurai versus the Fancy Bastards, Kip Sabian and Julia. Gets a 60. The crowd just not seeing the vision, man. This was quality. This was peak. This was peak here. This was a gourmet. But yeah, the crowd just not seeing the vision. All right, 60. All right, we get a fired up promo about a presumably about a attack on AJ Styles that we're gonna book, maybe. All right, yeah, 59. All right, please, you guys come through hard with this main event. You gotta represent. You gotta represent for the UK. 60. What? 60? Will Ospreay got a 51? Oh my god. Dude, Will Ospreay got he got mogged by Timothy Thatcher. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Is his neck that bad? Is his neck that bad? Do I just need to abandon ship here? Just forget that this ever happened. Just have Walter beat him and be done with it. I mean, he could have been, you know, holding back because it's dark. Yeah, he was penalized for holding back. But man, only a 51. that's rough for Will Ospreay. All right, and we kind of bombed again. A 68, man. All right, we're not doing great on these darks. All right, Kento Miyahara, gonna be feeling better in about 20 days. All right. All right, mid 13 grand though. All right. Yeah, just two darks back to back where I'm sitting here like, this main event is going to be solid. This should be a good show, and then the main event just kind of bombed. It's unfortunate. Especially the Kento Wagner tag. I couldn't believe it. I thought for sure that Kento and Wagner would at least be able to carry the other guys if they needed to a really good match. But no. That's just not what happened. Kento got hurt instead. All right, thank you, Will Ospreay. I'm so sorry, Kento. Kazusada Higuchi's here. All right. We're gonna have him be a face. Is he? Let me see. Oh, they gave him like no attributes. Okay. We're gonna have him be a face and head to ROH. All right, and we're waiting on Shiori Kondo. Oh, Liv Morgan. Hey, Liv Morgan. 33. I mean, I guess they didn't really start pushing her hard to like last year or maybe. Damn, she's got star quality. Dude, am I really just gonna sign every woman that leaves WWE? Yeah, her stats are not that good, which not to be mean, but it makes sense, especially for 2021. Liv Morgan, she's definitely improved a lot over the years, and I don't think she's terrible or anything. Yeah, we don't need her. All right, never mind. Right, Shirai got hurt. Not good. There's an injury bug going around, it seems. Viano Quinto Jr. injured. I've got this guy shortlisted. Huh. Hey, Shiori's here. Let me see. I think. Well, I mean, let's go look at the dev roster. All right, we're gonna look for wrestlers who are any female. It seems. All right, it seems pretty balanced. So I think I'm just gonna send her in as a heel. Maybe just for the sake, because Suri is a babyface. So we'll have Shiori be a heel just in case somewhere down the line we want to run that match sometime in the next 9 months. Great. All right, let's move on. Faye Jackson and Flip Gordon have split up. Okay. All right, it's Monday. I guess that means it's time for Collision. We're gonna go ahead and borrow Will Ospreay again, probably for an angle. And I'm trying to think of what we're gonna do on Collision. Is there anybody else we want? No, we'll leave it at this. All right, let's go. All right, it's time to collide. We were in the Great Lakes for Dynamite. I mean, we've never been to Hawaii, but is it? I feel like it'd be weird to go there in January. All right, let's head to the Mid Atlantic. We really need to start branching out, man. Like, what are we? We're not that over in Canada. Uh, yeah, we can draw. We can potentially draw people if we head to Europe. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that right this second. But yeah, definitely something to keep in mind. Something to do in the future. Let's head to the Mid Atlantic. Let's head to Maryland. Once again, let's try to get a finish. Likely. Let's get a better finish than that. A bit of a gamble. We're going in the wrong direction. But I believe in you guys. Hey, near certainty. All right. Positive reinforcement. It works. All right. We got some training going on. More training. Mickey James simply being cheerful and fun to be around. I've already told my Mickey James elevator story on this series before. But yeah, I rode an elevator with Mickey James, and it was a highlight of my life. Denise Salcido also being positive. Matt Jackson with an idea for a finish. Okay, Kenny Omega, creative finish. All right, first things first. It is Collision. Let's go ahead and delete this Dynamite here. Ooh, we're gonna book Motor City Machine Guns versus SCU on this show, and the Young Bucks taking on the Best Friends. Man, so the Best Friends go from wrestling FTR straight to wrestling Best Friends go from wrestling FTR to the Young Bucks right after. What a tough draw in your side of the bracket. All right, so let's get Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin taking on fellow TNA legends Christopher Daniels and Frank Kazarian. Oh, yeah, we're gonna have them steal the show. I want them to put on an X Division classic. All right, now let me once again bust out the notepad on the phone. Take a look at my I wish I could show you guys this, my janky little I don't even know what to call this. The scoreboard. I made like a final scoreboard for the tournament as a guide, so I know who I want to win each match. All right, Motor City Machine Guns. Let's go to SCU. Okay, like I thought, Motor City Machine Guns are gonna get the win here. We'll give it to the more popular one, Chris Sabin. All right, so that potentially the main event, maybe not. We'll see. All right, I guess while I have this open, let's just go ahead and book the other match. If anybody's saying anything in the chat right now, I can't see it. So who knows? Anything goes. The teacher has stepped out of the classroom. Please start throwing spitballs now. All right, the Young Bucks taking on the Best Friends. All right, everybody knows there's a lot of history between these two teams, a lot of familiarity. But unfortunately for the Best Friends, the Young Bucks, they're the current AEW Tag Team Champions, and they're currently one of the best teams in the world. You know, and they're at the top of their game, so they're gonna take the win here. All right, I'm back in the chat. All right, nobody move. I feel like this should also be a Steal the Show match, so I'm just gonna do that. All right, so right off the bat, two insane matches. All right, so, what else are we going to book? Let's see. I mean, we're building up. We're trying to build this Death Riders Latin Mafia feud while they both have teams in the tag tournament. But yeah, in the meantime, John Moxley is kind of looking for challengers, and Andrade and Penta are lurking and being evil. Did I not book? Oh yeah, Penta snapped the guy's arm here. All right, we're gonna give Penta another match, I think. Here, we're gonna book Penta versus Hijo de Vikingo. Yes, this show's gonna be all Steal the Show matches. All right, 13 minutes. Penta definitely going over. We're gonna do managerial interference finish. So yeah, we're gonna have Selena Del Renta get involved. All right, and then of course after the match, we're gonna have Penta attack Hijo de Vikingo, and he's gonna break his arm. Oh no! Somebody needs to stop this man. And here we're just gonna, even though I didn't put them at ringside for the match, we're just gonna have Los Garzas materialize and be there. And so it affects the storyline. We'll do John Moxley off screen, Eddie Kingston off screen. You know what? We're gonna have Penta cut a promo after that too, because even though he's evil, we never said he can't talk. Let's do Andrade off screen too. So yeah, basically, John Moxley as cutting his promos about how tough he is and how he's looking for challengers. Penta is going to, he's not going to directly say John Moxley. He's not going to say his name at all. But he's going to kind of allude to the fact that he is the only one in the company who truly has zero fear and who truly isn't afraid of anyone. All right. We might open with the Young Bucks best friend. All right, I'm back. Sorry about the interruption. I just had to run downstairs real quick. So where were we booking this show? I want to do something with MJF just because we haven't been doing anything with him for a while. So let's have MJF win a match. We'll figure out why it's happening after. You know what, actually? MJF was talking all that shit about the Dark Order. How about we do MJF versus Tracy Williams? $12 minutes. We'll have this be our storytelling match. At ringside, we're gonna have Ultramantis Black, Chris Brooks. Can't believe we're doing Dark Order stuff again. What is wrong with me? All right, Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, and of course Tom Lawler and Jonah Rock. Book an angle to go with that. All right, so we're gonna have MJF talking with Cody Rhodes backstage. And MJF, he's basically telling Cody Rhodes again, he's like, look, these guys, the Dark Order, they're going around. They're trying to get you on their side. They're trying to get Hangman on their side. You know, who the hell are those guys? Who are they to us, right? They're like, right? We don't even worry about those guys. I'm gonna take on one of those goofs right now, and I'm gonna show them what's up. I'm gonna send a message. You know, don't fuck with the world champion. Yeah. So yeah, kind of similar to Hangman. MJF really seems to hate the Dark Order. He's like, these guys are jobbers. What are we doing? Why are we wasting time even thinking about these guys? Okay. You know what? I think I want to book a Hangman promo again backstage. And again with Ultramantis Black, but we're gonna advance the plot slightly. We're gonna say that this time Instead of Hangman Page just immediately being like, look, I don't like spooky shit, just fuck off, he's going to kind of listen a little bit to what Ultramantis Black has to say, and he's gonna think about it. And we're just redoing we're just redoing the whole Jimmy Jacobs angle, except now it's the Dark Order. Right here, we'll let Adam Page cut a 3-minute promo on his own first, in case the part with Ultramantis Black sucks. The Adam Page part maybe will save the angle. Yeah, we'll have the part with Ultramantis Black just be 1 minute. I don't know. Well, this isn't really a surprise, but we haven't used that in, so we'll use it. All right. Also, I need to go back and check. I feel because like yeah, on this collision, I did a whole bit with Bryan Danielson, kind of teasing the crowd, asking them who he should wrestle next. But I feel like I booked the promo before. Did we ever say that Swerve and Don Callis accepted Kenny Omega's challenge? I don't think we did. I see a promo here where Kenny Omega says that him versus Swerve for the #1 contendership makes sense, but nothing about them accepting it. All right, so I think what we're gonna do here, we're gonna book an angle that's going to lead to a match on Dynamite, I guess. All right, 3 minutes. Kenny Omega has made his way to the ring. He's cutting a promo. And once again, he's talking about the idea of challenging Bryan Danielson. But he knows that Don Callis and Swerve Strickland are dead set on standing in his way. They don't want to see him become the champion. And then we're gonna have a second part. We're gonna have Swerve and Don Callis come out. And basically the gist of this is that I want Kenny Omega to straight up goad Swerve Strickland into accepting the match. So Don Callis is basically like gonna come out and be like, Kenny Omega, like, when will you and the entire locker room get it through your thick skulls that none of you call the shots when it comes to the Don Callis family? We handle business our way and on our terms, and you're not gonna just talk your way into a match, a #1 contenders match against Swerve Strickland, who should already be the #1 contender. It doesn't make sense. And Kenny Omega is gonna start being like, oh, like, okay, like, I get it, I understand. If Swerve Strickland's too chicken to wrestle me, then I guess that's fine, that's okay. And he's gonna start doing like the chicken like movements and like bok bok, like and he's gonna get the crowd into it, so the whole crowd starts kind of doing like the chicken, like like to Swerve Strickland. Yeah, and Don Callis is like, do you think this kind of juvenile mind game is gonna work on us? Do you think that any? But behind them, so you see Swerve Strickland, and he's getting so mad. He's just getting madder and madder the whole time. And finally, he's gonna like shove past Don Callis and grab the microphone and be like, "You want a match against me for the number one contendership? I accept." And Don Callis is gonna start freaking out, like, "No, what?" Yeah, the match is official for Dynamite. You really should ask. You really should figure out if Kenny Omega is willing to put over Swerve. I mean, because I definitely do want to book Kenny Omega versus Bryan Danielson at some point, but I feel like having Kenny Omega just straight up beat Swerve and get the match is like, I feel like we would be like burying Swerve almost. I mean, Kenny Omega's a major star. Swerve is only well known. I feel like Kenny's not gonna want to put him over, and we're gonna end up having to do like some kind of a DQ finish or something. We're not even booking this match now, but I'm asking him anyways. I just want to know. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, we'll figure it out when we get there. It's probably gonna be like a DQ finish. Unfortunately, I don't want to just bury Swerve. Just straight up, Kenny Omega's better than him. Well, let's move on. We're gonna call this storyline. You know, we're gonna make it a two-parter. So Renee Paquette is backstage with John Moxley, who once again is kind of throwing out an open invitation of sorts for anyone who wants to take him on. He's looking for competition right now. He's feeling good. He wants to stay sharp. And at this point, we're gonna have John Moxley kind of start naming names, like Andrade El Idolo. Him and the Latin Mafia guys. They all talk a big game, and they run around there like they're so scary. I wouldn't mind getting in the ring with any one of those guys if they had the balls to face me one on one. We're gonna copy this, make part 2. All right, yeah, insert Eddie Kingston. So lately Eddie Kingston and John Moxley have found themselves they found themselves on the same side fighting against Latin Mafia, but not necessarily. They didn't necessarily like leave the situation reconciling their friendship. Exactly. So yeah, we're gonna have Eddie Kingston. He's gonna pull up to John Moxley's promo and be like, "Wow, like great promo, Moxley. You're so tough. You're so big and bad. Hey, John Moxley. I remember. I feel like me and you still have some unfinished business, partner. And it sounds like you're looking for a fight. So, yeah, have them wrestle on the last collision of the year, December 28th. So about a month ago. Yeah, just straight about John Moxley win. So maybe Eddie Kingston's just like, you got me that time, but I never stay down. So if you're looking for a fight, me and you can get into it. So yeah, this is a hype because the crowd would definitely be into this. Kingston, he wants to run it back. We're gonna put this high up on the show because I assume it's gonna do well. We need 28 more minutes. Oh, we have not booked any women's division stuff lately. Or on this show, I mean. I think we should book Hannah Kimura in a match. Lady Flamer, Lady Maria are faces, right? Have I ever done Lady Shani versus Hannah Kimura? I'm gonna assume I have at some point. I don't know. No, surprisingly, or at least not in 2020. All right, Lady Shani, Hannah Kimura it is. The women's champion in some non-title action. All right, of course, Hannah Kimura gonna get the win here, clean. And you know what? Trish Stratus at ringside, once again making her presence in AEW known. She's keeping a close eye on the champion. All right, and should we? Hey, you know what? We've been meaning to do this for a while. Davina Rose is backstage. And of course, she's with her good friends Trinity and Mickey James, the women's champions. And she's talking to her good friend Denise Salcido. And yeah, we're gonna have Davina Rose announce here that she's finally medically cleared. So she's finally been cleared by the doctors here at AEW. She's finally ready to return to the ring, and she's gonna return on Dynamite. So you don't want to miss it. Davina Rose returning to the ring. You know, we've got a lot of time, Phil. We'll go over 4 minutes. Do any of the Motor City Machine Gun? Oh, okay, Alex Shelley's promo skills, cool. Let's do a backstage promo. We're just gonna have the Motor City Machine Guns and SCU be in one promo, and they're basically gonna be like, well, look who it is. So yeah, this is basically a promo just teasing the main event and you know, shouting out the old TNA faithful. You know, it's gonna be one of those kinds of promos where they're like, man, like, you know, to think, you know, we were wrestling out in Florida. We were putting on shows in front of weird audiences, and Jeff Jarrett was there, and Shark Boy. What a time! Guys, I don't know how to spell the word reminisce. Please forgive me. Don't tell anybody. We're gonna keep this a secret between us. All right, yeah, so that's not gonna be right before the main event, but pretty high up on the show. We've got 6 more minutes. Anything else we need to book? I mean, we could throw like a Bryan Danielson promo in there, but I kind of want to get another match in. I feel like Maxwell Jacob Friedman versus Tracy Williams is like the co-main event. It's crazy. I feel like we could maybe fit in another match, but I don't know what. Antonio Hara's hurt, so we can't do that. We can maybe do like Zack Sabre Jr. versus someone, even though it's so random though. All right, Zack Sabre Jr. I was like, is he even recognizable? What if we just have Zack Sabre Jr. beat Darby Allin? Why not? Do we have 15 minutes? I don't know. Zack Sabre Jr. tainted win. Just for the sake of getting him on the show. Why do we need to get Zack Sabre Jr. on the show? I don't really know. But we definitely should push him more. I feel like I'm always saying that. He's really good. He's really good. And he's not as over as he could be if we actually booked him. We'll do this. Oh, we don't have a wild. Oh. Can this be a wild brawl? Probably not. Oh my god, is this about to be a wild brawl? Oh, this is a storytelling match. Oh shoot. I mean, this is a regular match. We could sacrifice this match a little and make it storytelling. Do these guys have psychology? Penta does. And Yo's got a little. Alright, we're switching things up. This storytelling. MJF is now having a wild brawl with Tracy Williams. All right. Gonna do a we'll have Lance Archer interfere. We've got one more minute. All right, this is steal the show, so it can't go above 15. Let's give it to this match, to the Wild Brawl. All right, this is a bit of a weird episode of Collision. I'm realizing now I didn't fit in CM Punk anywhere, but whatever, man. He can miss one show. But yeah, this is a weird episode of Collision. We're gonna start really strong with Young Bucks versus Best Friends. Penta versus Vikingo as a storytelling match is a bit strange, but should still be solid. Hannah Kimura, Lady Shani, hopefully is really good. MJF, Tracy Williams, Wild Brawl. I don't know, man. And Zack Sabre Jr. and Darby Allin just having a match is very random. Yeah, hopefully that's good. And I'm really counting on this main event. Motor City Machine Guns, SCU, come on, people, get with me. I'm gonna guess this show gets like an 85. I don't know if it's gonna do as well as the last show. I got an 87. But yeah, 85. Man, we're starting the show off super hot. The Young Bucks and the Best Friends have an 89 match. The Young Bucks pick up the win, pick up 2 more points in the A block of the tournament. Yeah, great stuff. The Best Friends having really bad luck in the tournament so far. Can we open the tournament bracket while the yeah, so far the Best Friends have taken a loss to FTR and a loss to the Young Bucks. So not a great start to the league for them. But a great start for the Young Bucks, who are 2-0. Are they 2-0? Did I just say that? No, yeah, they're 2-0. All right, let's move on. All right, every time I have fun while booking an angle and I'm like laughing and having a good time, the angle doesn't do well. Yeah, Kenny Omega calls Swerve Strickland a chicken. He does the little chicken arm movements. You know, he's got his arms behind his back like he's flapping his little chicken wings. Yeah, he goaded Swerve into accepting a match against him for the #1 contendership, and it gets a 66. Not really what we were looking for here, but okay. Not a complete disaster. I'll say that. Ooh. All right, Penta versus Hijo del Vikingo as our storytelling match gets a 70. Unfortunately, these two don't click. All right, yeah, that's disappointing, but at least it's still got a 70, right? At least. So yeah, not terrible. Right after the match, 81. We see Penta attack Hijo del Vikingo. He snaps his arm after the match. And then yeah, he cuts a promo saying that people are talking and people are calling themselves tough and people think that they're so strong and so mighty. But everyone knows that the real person with no fear is Penta. Backstage, Davina Rose announces that she's cleared for competition. She can finally come back to the ring. So look out, ladies. Davina's coming. All right, singles action. We've got the AEW Women's Champion Hannah Kimura in a non-title match against Lady Shani. Gets a 74. Pretty solid match. Kind of a cold match in terms of there's not really a storyline attached to it, but we did have Trish Stratus scoping the match out. So it ties in that way. Trish Stratus very interested in the Women's Championship. And we've got Cody and MJF backstage. MJF burying the Dark Order, telling Cody Rhodes that as the world champion, he shouldn't even be thinking about these jobbers, and that he's about to make an example out of them and show them just how shitty and lowly they are. 84. All right, MJF, Tracy Williams, wild brawl. Tracy Williams just like, you call me a jobber, man? And he shoot punches MJF, and they get into a shoot brawl. And he got a 72. All right, pretty decent. All right, we're TNA baiting here. We're TNA baiting. We've got the Motor City Machine Guns. We've got Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian. They have a little moment backstage before they take each other on in the main events. It's a 74. The crowd's chanting TNA, TNA. Tony Khan has to come out and be like, hey, relax. All right, Adam Page cuts a promo and then is confronted once again by Ultramantis Black, but this time he's not so adverse to it. He's kind of hearing him out. It's a 69. All right, in a random match, Zack Sabre Jr. defeats Darby Allin. After a little bit of help from Lance Archer, and the match gets an 80. Both of these guys really bringing it, making the most of this opportunity to have a match on Collision. Oh yeah, and Zack Sabre Jr. Saving face a little. The last time we saw him, he lost Kento Miyahara in an incredible match. So yeah, maybe just wanting to come back and show that he, there's more to him than that. All right, an incredible segment, legendary segment here, 94. We've got Jon Moxley cutting a promo, calling out anyone who wants to take him on. Eddie Kingston comes up to him and he says, you got the dub over me last time. Let's run it back. Come on, let's run it back. You're looking for a fight? I'm right here, John. I'm right here, John. All right, yeah. So we're hyping this up. It's probably going to happen next week on Collision, I think. All right, in the big main event, the Motor City Machine Guns defeat their old buddies, SCU. And the match gets an 84. Great main event. Let's close out the show. 90. Wow. All right, there you go. That was Collision. I did not expect it to get a 90. I didn't expect it to go this well. But yeah, we had the Young Bucks Best Friends match. That was really good. The Zack Sabre Jr. Darby Allin match that we just randomly threw on the card was good. The Jon Moxley Eddie Kingston segment was good. The main event was solid. Just good stuff all around. All right, we made a bit of money. We gained popularity in the Maritimes and Central Europe specifically. Ooh, a dislocated knee. That does not sound good. Oh, WWE rising fast. Oh, they're huge. Oh no. They're bouncing back from the Roman Reigns scandal. That's not good for us. Yeah, you see their popularity kind of took a dip for a second here, but yeah, they're coming back. Yay. Awesome Kong giving a shout out to Swerve Strickland. All right. And with that shout out being given, that's gonna be it for this episode. Thank you guys all for watching. I got off to a bit of a later start this week. So yeah, I was hoping we would be able to get through more than we did, although I kind of forgot completely about Dark. So yeah, that's on me. But yeah, the tournament is well underway, and I think things for the pay-per-view are starting to really take shape. You know, we've got some ideas going. The card is not fully finalized, but we're moving in the right direction. Before I get out of here, let's just take a look at the All Elite Tag League standings. So far in the A block, the Young Bucks are in the lead with their 2 wins. FTR has 2 points with their win over Best Friends. Best Friends not even on the board yet, unfortunately. The Fatus have 2 points, but they've only wrestled once so far. But yeah, they've got the win they do have was really big. They beat FTR. Barbaro Cavernario and Volador Jr. Also kind of having a rough go of it. 2 losses. And the Kingdom have only wrestled once, and they've got 1 win. So that's the A block so far. And then in the B block, we've got the Briscoes, 2 points with their 1 win over SCU. Beer Money has wrestled twice. They dropped. They lost to Motor City Machine Guns and to the Death Riders. SCU, unfortunately, dropping 3 matches so far. I think even if they win their next 2 matches, I don't think there's any way they can win. So yeah, really tough for the veterans. Latin Mafia, Ortiz and Black Taurus, they have only wrestled 1 time. They've got a win over SCU. Motor City Machine Guns with 4 points, leading the way so far. They've got wins over Beer Money and SCU. And the Death Riders, rounding out the league, also a win over Beer Money. So yeah, that's the thing so far. We're gonna continue this next time. I hope you guys stick around for this. I'm having fun booking it, and yeah, it's going really well. All right, thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna get out of here. Take it easy, everyone.